Hey guys, Chris back here again with another episode of Historic Brawl. Today we're checking out another Kamigawa commander, and today we're going to be checking out the bad guy, Jin Cataxius. Jin didn't really seem like a decent commander to me off the bat. If I'm speaking honestly, he kind of seemed underpowered. Like the once per turn restriction on both of his abilities just doesn't seem very good, if I'm being honest. But I did realize that he doesn't just copy instants and sorceries, he copies artifacts too. And with my recent love of Tameshi and that kind of artifact tribal, I thought Jin Cataxius could do something similar. But instead of building like a fully artifact-based shell, we just have the Mana Rock plant, which you would have in blue anyways. And the thing with him is we want to just copy one of the big artifact spells. So we're up against Omnath Locus of Rage. We kind of want to counter whatever spell they want to play. So next turn we can Time Warp if we want to. We just have to survive whatever Omnath push they go for. Because they can cast him this turn. And he deals 1 damage to any creature. Probably Malevolent Spirit. Because Malevolent Spirit can counter a non-creature spell. Interesting thing about Brawl is, the Commander Brawl,
I would like to ask about
is his ability triggers to draw and discard, even off things like Malevolent Hermit and Siren Storm Tamer. And while those weren't around when he was in Standard, they're arguably, I don't want to say they're better than just I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to Time Warp myself. Yeah, I was going to Mystical Dispute that, so it's good that our opponent decided to scoop. So yeah, our plan is just to get up to Jin Cataxius mana. And then cast him. We have the other Jin Cataxius on the deck too, and along with a little something to go with him, which is a draw/mill subscene. It's not as prevalent, but if we copy one of the 2 big mill spells in Historic, we can take out either all of our opponent's deck or the majority of our opponent's deck, which is, it's good enough to merit an inclusion as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the copy ability I think is going to be the strongest part of him. Although this definitely saves you when you're up against like black decks. Luckily for us, we're up against a meme. What I assume is a meme deck, because colorless decks just aren't they aren't where it's at, mate. They aren't where it's at. Sure. So we'll probably draw a card here at the end of the turn. So shame there aren't waste in Historic. Because if there were, this deck would be would feel a little bit nicer. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna draw. Like, I'd rather counter something actually dangerous. I could have played Narset there. Boy, 7 mana destroy target permanent is rough. not really going to get more value out of Mystical Dispute because we're not up against a blue deck. So we gotta pop it early if we can. Yeah, that's nice. So getting a copy of Solemn off of Jin Wrong is like a little dream I'm having at the moment. And I really want it to happen at some point. I was watching a YouTube video about the lore of Kamigawa, and this dude just gets himself cut in half. Like, come on, man. You're better than that. No attack. We'll be blockers if we need to. This also leaves up Counterspell. Doesn't leave up Sweet Oblivion, but we don't really need Sweet Oblivion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counterspell will probably be of more use next turn. But if they play like a Forsaken Monument, we kinda gotta counter it. There's not really... Oh wait, how did they have 6 mana? 1, 2, 3... Oh yeah, God, the mirror. Forgot about the mirror. Now we can cost a proper amount. And Jin Wrong should be able to hold down the fort better than most. It's a shame he doesn't counter an ability. They can just drop a land and then Universal Solvent him. Which would be not fun. But hell, it means that Universal Solvent is hitting Jin Wrong and not something more valuable. Like, as much as I love commanders, they're a bit replaceable, you know? Command tags means they die, no problem. You got another one waiting in the wings. Whereas with combo pieces like Lithiform Engine, if it dies, it's just dead. Unless you can bring it back. Which, building in ways to bring it back is a good deck building strategy. It's just if you want to run like hyper efficient, you're better off not bothering.
My presence alone will guide you towards victory.
Ugin gonna die again? Oh,
Be gone, interloper.
Do.
So be it.
No reason to.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. Keep an open mind.
Time warp.
Hone your prowess.
Sensor. So I took Sensor because if we counter Ugin one more time, we pretty much locked him out of the game. Which our opponent, I think, is aware of. I think we're 1 mana off Jin again. Okay, that is awful brave of you. Oh, that is painful.
Meditate and prepare.
Yeah, I think I take that
I have just the trick for
and
this.
that. And I'll swing. So, if I cast this for 8, will I have 3 mana left over? I won't. Well, that's unfortunate. I can't even do. Then you may excellence. So sort of the same one. So yeah, I'll take that one, I guess. Never mind. Decline. Next. Nope. Guess we foretell it. To give ourselves a bit of a discount. So I'll actually be able to Maddening Cacophony next turn for the win. Even through the God Pharaoh statue. Which is not how this is supposed to be drawn up. You are so expensive. Like, he costs 11 mana. We have a combination of cards on the field and hand that for 11 mana will win us the game. I have one of those too, except it's an enchantment. And a spirit. Workshop assistant. Okay, that's kind of cool. So I do that. I kick it. And then I copy it. Oh, this doesn't work, does it? I've gotten rid of a lot of their deck, but kind of hoping for a win. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Not yet, anyways. I also exiled the other mill spell I had. Oh god. Expert here. Expert Magic player. I'm gonna need more lands if I'm gonna do the good thing, you know. Yeah, I don't have enough mill cards to finish off the game, I don't think. But you never know. We have Crab. Crab is the mill card. It's just whether or not our opponent can kill us before we kill them, you know? Yeah, you can kill Narset, honestly. I kind of put a lot of artifacts into your yard, and I'd rather they stayed there. Yes, and 19 cards in hand. Luckily, Midnight Clock won't reshuffle, so That's not a non-bow. Damn. I probably punted this game away. I punted it away looking for easy answers. And not understanding how an alchemy card worked. Like this card, this is too much text. Please, Wizards, do not make cards with this much text. I cannot be bothered to read that much. There are so many words, and I don't understand them all. Do you have enough spells to win with, I have no colored permanents.
And reality. You understand yourself.
I should have done that first.
Ether itself.
Dude, 2 cards a turn?
serves me.
I'm gonna die if you keep that up. I mean, do we go for this? I still have to pay the tax. Oh, this isn't going well. I think I've lost. I called this deck a meme deck at the beginning. Because it is a bit memey. Come on, like, Ugin? Ugin is your commander? A board full of 2/2s? This would not survive against Toxrill. This would not survive against Vanthier. And Eska would have a field day with this. Poor Jin.
Secrets manifest before
Poor Jin is not the most combat focused of the Praetors, I guess. Like in the story, I was talking about that a little earlier. Dude gets cut in half the first time he meets the Wanderer. Essentially just doesn't show up again for the rest of the story, so I guess we shouldn't be expecting a lot of prowess. I guess we probably should have used our counter spells a little more. It is a shame that of the cards we've used, damn. I forgot I could have cast, Eldrin's Epiphany. Eldrin's Epiphany might have saved me. I would have gotten 2 extra turns with, Lithiform Engine. Gonna go one more go. So what I've been doing in MTG recently, I played a lot of Tamashii. I've also played a bit of Standard. Main decks I've been playing are Mono Black, Mono White, and I've been trying to brew around Satori Umezawa. Gonna free all that. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm trying to brew around him because 4 mana Sneak and Tell a big thing into play seems pretty powerful. I mean, you have to meet the ninjutsu condition to make it work, but that's not too big of a problem. I need another mana. So this is actually the combo I was thinking of when I messed everything up. I can't do anything. Your go. Sujiota is a 5-color commander. Even though he only had 3 commanders in his cost, he's still a 5-color commander. So they're gonna get like a. They need a red and a blue source. If they want to cast Joda anytime soon. These forests are good, they just don't really work well with Tricolor Commander. But if your opponent blanks on lands, it's not impossible to win. Hey, Flux Reservoir, go away. I threw in Perirock into the Hail Mary. Unlike Tamashi, we can't really get it going very quickly. But I figure if we get a bunch of Mana Rocks copied with Jin Cataxias, it doesn't really matter if so we just have to not die. They don't have black mana yet, so they can't show to anything. They can still hit us for 4 every turn. So our best draw would be another mana source so we can keep to the archive. Or Hedron. Why do I even talk about what would be best for me? So we can get down Pruvac and just pray to God that they don't murder him. And that'll make the combo turn less intensive on mana. But still, we need the land if we're gonna actually do this. Yeah, we need 4 plus 2, we need 6 mana. So if we get a land and can get down one of these 2 rocks, we'll be there. It's just, we're kind of asking a lot. Luckily as Kanta, oh, well, that fixes things, doesn't it? Yeah, that's game. I don't need to see anymore. We were 1 turn too slow. Well, 2 turns. Definitely a better build of Jin Cataxias. Well, I think he's bad. I don't think he's good. I think he's just too restrictive for what's happening to him. It's kind of like, I don't know, if you compare him to Vorinclex, if Vorinclex had the once per turn restriction on him, he would have been stark unplayable. He would have never seen play anywhere. And Jin Cataxias, I think, is gonna be in that boat. Like, once per turn on one of the abilities might have been enough to balance him, but even still, I don't know. It's a tricky card to balance, I think. I think they went the safest route they probably could have. Because if he's countering every... He can't counter every spell. Like, that ability cannot be... it just can't be. It has to have the triggers only once each turn. The copy ability probably also needs the once every turn. But Hinata, are you gonna counter my rock? You are. That's a scummy thing to do. Yeah, like the copy ability also kind of is kind of too strong. But to be fair, Mill is probably a weak archetype for a commander. Yeah, I'll resolve it. I'm gonna draw a card. Do you have a counter spell? And you're seriously considering countering Glimpse of Freedom. I didn't think you would, but let's see if you'll counter Key to the Archive, because that's probably worth a counterspell. Yeah, there we go. So especially when you're playing, when you're trying to play a more combo-y build for your victory type, and you're up against a counterspell deck, you really want to lure out as many counterspells as you can. Like, they can't have an infinite number of counterspells. But at the same time, you know they're gonna have more than 2 or 3. Like, half their hand is probably counterspells. Yeah. Let's mill a white source. We did it! We milled the white source. It's kinda cool. Although we kinda ramped him, I forgot about that. But, they have a white source in hand. With Hanada on the field, counterspells become even better. So, there is that. That's a problem. Let's see if we can solve that. Don't counter me? Just once? Although to be fair, if Mirror Hall Mimic does get countered, it's not really the end of the world. Yeah, look at that, they're running Reduced to Dust. Reduced to Rebel. That's not a playable card. What does Rebel do? 3 target lands don't untapped. Oh my god, that is dumb. I see why you're running that now. It all makes sense. They're not very compliant, if I'm being honest. Do we mill them again? Give them the old mill? I don't really think it's worth it at this point, but you never know. Might be. Yeah, look at all our mana rocks in the graveyard. That is not cool. If Madden Cacophony was a counterspell, was an instant speed spell, that would have been nice. Yeah, they kept up a counterspell too.
Now you're playing with fire.
So Jin Cataxius was one of the cards I got with one of the cards I paired with Satoru. Because I felt like flashing him in could have done some good work, but I never actually got a casting with it. I ended up just going 2 games, and the only game where I ended up cheating in a payoff was Toxrill, because Toxrill is also good in that slot. Arguably Toxrill is the best card in that slot. Like, I looked into maybe branching into a 3rd color just for the payoff, because Satoru's ability doesn't actually care about what color the card is.
No pressure.
Please, for the love of God. Okay, I'll try again next year. Yeah, like commandery formats are one of the places where Timmy's run away from counterspells. And Brawl is not that place. Like, Brawl counterspells have way more value than they do in Commander. And that's just partly because you can 1-for-1 your opponent, as Mooncake has demonstrated to us. Please mill half the cards in your deck. They have a counterspell. Nope, they're just drawing to see if they can find a counterspell. I do like this sleeve. I kind of like the Wanderer sleeve a little more, but I do like this one. This one looks pretty cool. So they didn't draw a counterspell. And look at this monstrosity. Yeah, this is not a fun deck. I guess I draw a card. And that was not what I needed. So those are 3 games. At least in the first game we got to show a little bit about what the deck was about, but the rest of it was just a good old arena teaching us that fun is not something you can do all the time. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.